Let us talk about these two verb phrases, had versus had had. First of all, I'm aware that a lot of students are familiar with the use of had, you know, whether it's in spoken or written expression. At the same time, I'm aware that quite a number of people, users of the English language, find it awkward when had both words are used in the same breath of expression. For those who belong in that pack, please come closer. Let's talk about this too. Let's start from the first that you're familiar with, which is the had. Everyone knows that had is the past tense of has and have, right? And you can only use had in sentence in the past. And more specifically, you only use the single had, this phrase had, in a sentence that is talking about a single event, a single situation. One, not two situations. That is when you use had. For example, if I say I have a phone right now, I do have a phone right now, I do have a pen in my hands right now. Let's say yesterday, I want to talk about what happened yesterday. A single event, I would say, I had a pen yesterday. I'm trying to check if I'm still within frame. Oh, okay. I must have a frame already. Okay, I have yesterday here. This is yesterday, in case you can see that. Okay, this is yesterday. I had a pen yesterday. The past tense of has, have is had. Jane had a pen yesterday. John had a pen yesterday. So had is the past tense of have or has. Are we clear with that? Okay. And remember, I did say that the only time that you use had, the single verbal phrase had, in a sentence or in a spoken situation is when you have just an event to talk about, a single event, a single action to talk about. I had a pen yesterday. She had a pen yesterday. Now, coming back to had, there are two verbs here. The first verb here, the first had, becomes an auxiliary verb, a helping verb, okay? While the next one here becomes the main verb, okay? And the only time you can use this two-word verbal phrase, had. There's a two words, had. So that's what I'm saying, a two-word verbal phrase, had. The only time you use this is when you talk about an action in the past participle, PPT, the past participle. And you know that for you to talk about past participle, you must have two events at least to talk about. Two events to talk about. And of course, you remember that had is used for the action or the situation, the event that started and ended before another started in the past. I don't know if that is clear. Simply put, you only use had in the same breath, in succession in the same breath, when you have two events to talk about, where one of these events started in the past and ended in the past before the second event started. Here is what I mean. Let's say we have something like, okay, I had a pen yesterday, full stop. I gave the pen to Excel. I gave the pen to Excel. Now let's put these two expressions together using had. In that case, I would say I had, let's say, the pen for 2 hours. For 2 hours. For 2 hours before I gave it to Excel. I gave it. So this is how you correctly use had in succession in a sentence. Should have two situations to talk about. One of the two situations that we use had should be the one that started first and ended before another one, before the second expression or situation started. So I had the pen for 2 hours or for 3 hours. I had my pen for 3 days before the burglar came in to have it. So whenever you hear people use had in succession in communication, it is not wrong. It is not incorrect. It is logical and grammatically correct. Had is for a single event that started and ended in the past, while had is used when you have two situations to talk about. Two situations that started and ended in the past. The first situation started and ended in the past before the next or the second one started. So that is basically what this class is about. I hope you've learned how to correctly use had, the verb phrase had, and had in different situations. Thanks for watching, and please remember to keep speaking right and keep learning right. Bye for now.